Bonjour. Bonjour, je m'appelle Xavier, je suis le directeur général de l'Institut français de la mode. Et j'ai avec moi deux étudiantes de l'Institut français de la mode. L'une qui vient du Venezuela et qui a terminé ses études à l'Institut français de la mode. Et l'autre, donc Isabella, qui est vénézuélienne. Et l'autre, Lisa, qui est allemande et qui vient de terminer aussi ses études à l'Institut français de la mode. On va vous parler aujourd'hui de Paris, capitale de la mode, et du fait de savoir si cette histoire de Paris, capitale de la mode, pourra durer dans le temps et à quelles conditions Paris pourra rester la capitale de la mode. D'abord, un petit mot, c'est l'Institut français de la mode est né de la volonté de l'ensemble des grandes marques de mode de créer à Paris une grande école de mode de dimension mondiale dont l'objectif est d'attirer des talents du monde entier pour les former au métier de la main. Et nous avons 300 étudiants que nous formons au métier de la main, au métier du design. Nous avons 400 étudiants que nous formons au métier du design et au métier du management. Donc nous avons 1100 étudiants maintenant venant de 78 pays et nous avons 43% d'étudiants étrangers. L'objectif de cette école, c'est d'attirer ces talents du monde entier et de faire en sorte que Paris reste ou devienne la capitale de la formation et de l'héritage de la mode. Et cette question est une question fondamentale et centrale par rapport à la French Touch qui nous préoccupe tous aujourd'hui. Il ne peut y avoir de French Touch dans le domaine de la mode s'il n'y a pas de transmission et d'héritage. Juste un petit mot d'histoire. Depuis le XVIIe siècle, Paris a développé une longue tradition de créativité et de savoir-faire. Tous les commentaires des ambassadeurs, des voyageurs, de tous ceux qui fréquentaient Paris au XVIIe et XVIIIe siècle le montrent. Il y a eu à Paris la création d'un écosystème au centre duquel il y avait la monarchie et la royauté, qui par les commandes publiques a su développer cet écosystème de marchands, cet écosystème d'artisans, qui, associé à la créativité de l'époque, la Renaissance et après, a créé cet écosystème qui a donné lieu, qui a créé cet humus, ce terreau favorable au développement de la mode et des industries créatives à Paris. Le développement de ces industries s'est fait par la transmission orale des savoirs, la transmission orale des artisanats. Et l'une des conditions aujourd'hui de la poursuite de cette tradition forte de Paris, capitale de la mode, avec les Fashion Week qui sont les plus puissantes du monde, c'est d'avoir la capacité à continuer à transmettre. Et c'est la vocation de cette grande école de mode, c'est d'assurer la transmission des savoirs à des générations futures qui sont les futurs leaders de l'industrie, et cette capacité à attirer à Paris des talents du monde entier pour assurer cette transmission. Et croyez-moi, la transmission des petites mains, la transmission des chapeliers, la transmission de la couture, ça nécessite du temps, ça nécessite des expertises. La transmission de la création, parce que la créativité n'est pas une créativité débridée. Quand elle est appliquée à un secteur comme celui de la mode, ça nécessite l'héritage d'un savoir-faire, et c'est cette transmission particulière qui est l'objectif de l'Institut français de la mode. Alors, plutôt que de vous faire un long discours, j'ai voulu inviter donc deux étudiantes, comme je vous l'ai dit, qui viennent de l'étranger et qui ont décidé de venir à Paris pour suivre des écoles de mode. Et je voudrais maintenant leur poser des questions sur pourquoi Paris, et y a-t-il, pour une étudiante vénézuélienne ou une étudiante allemande, une tradition, une particularité de la mode à Paris. Et pour que, évidemment, elles puissent comprendre ce qu'on va parler, je vous propose de continuer cette conversation en anglais. So thanks for coming, Isabella. Thanks for coming, Lisa.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid by the attendees. So the first question I have is, you've chosen to study in Paris for fashion. What are the main reasons why you have decided to study in Paris?
So for me, it was like I really wanted my work to be seen and to be out there because I'm from Germany. I studied in this very small city in Germany, and I felt like every collection I was doing ended up in my grandparents' basement. So it was like I have a lot of like passion for what I'm doing. I just need the chance to be visible to the industry, and I wanted to be seen by the best people of this industry, and they are based in Paris, in my opinion. So IFM for me was offering me this platform of like learning a lot as much as I can about this industry, about luxury industry, about like making connections, growing, like being supported, having the chance to meet people from this industry, and finally growing into the role of becoming a future designer. So that's why I choose IFM and Paris.
And you're born you're born in Caracas.
Yes.
You're raised in Venezuela.
Yes.
So why have you chosen Paris for fashion studies?
Okay, so I personally chose to come to Paris to study fashion because firstly, I did my bachelor's in the US. So the technical aspect of the studies that I did were very strong in the US, but I think that what was missing mostly was this artistic aspect and this creativity that is really ingrained in French fashion. So for me, when I was doing this research of schools to come to, IFN was the first one and the only one that I applied to actually, because it really captures this attitude of French design, which is very classic and very heritage-based and based on the savoir-faire of French design throughout the years, but also at the core of French fashion is innovation. So I think that it was the perfect place to cultivate these two sides of design, whether it's the classic and historic aspect plus the innovation. So it's really kind of the perfect place to do it.
Yeah. Do you think there is a French touch in the fashion industry, in the way to learn, to teach, and to do fashion in Paris?
I think, as Isabella said, there's like this great heritage to this industry. So like knowledge that was passed on to generations. But what makes it so unique for me is that there's really a mix of periods. So you can have like this super old embroidery technique, but it will be styled with super futuristic sneakers that are developed in our new technology. So for me, like the French touch or French fashion culture is like mixing periods and like being aware of the past and embrace it, but also turn your head towards the future.
And what's your view about that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a French touch in design. I think the evidence is all of the great maisons that originated from France and that are based here. I think that this French touch goes back to what I said about innovation being at its core. I mean, we can see it historically with designers like Yves Saint Laurent in the smoking, which is like a classic but super innovative for its time, or in the 80s with Mugler and Jean-Paul Gaultier. So there's like this huge history of fashion in France, but mostly also culture and everything that you see around you is inspiration for a designer. So I think that the French touch comes from this availability of information. Like living here is really like studying and living in the best archive library there is. So it comes from this availability of information that has been cultivated throughout the years in France.
You're part of the new generation of designers. How do you find the right balance between the past, the history, and the future?
I think for me it's always like when I work in a house or do an internship, I try to get in touch with the people that are like doing the bags, like prototyping, manufacturing, like seeing, to sit with them, because maybe I have an idea what I want to do for a bag, but I don't know how to do it, and they will maybe find so many solutions. So I think it's really getting out there, getting in touch, like letting them teach you what you know, and not just only be stuck in front of your computer as a designer. So maybe it's really like going and working with the material and with the technicians, and to be in exchange with them all the time.
Yeah, I think I agree with Lisa. For me, when I design, the process usually goes by looking at inspiration and obviously what's been done before, but also going outside and realizing that design is about making our life better and about making our life easier. So understanding the needs of a person now, or I mean, I'm an accessory designer for women, for example, so it's understanding the needs of women now and being able to filter out all of this information that you have in front of you and provided for you as research, and being able to filter that information and apply it to now. And I mean, IFM specifically has been really good at cultivating this skill for me, because before it was really just about the technical way of doing things, and it's more than that. It's about understanding, you know, why we're doing this, and being able to use all of the information that we have provided for us and applying it to design.
So you're working now for Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is one of the most prestigious French fashion brands. How do you think Louis Vuitton is so French?
I think Louis Vuitton, I mean, obviously it's kind of like the quintessential French brand, but I think it also goes back to what I said about being a mix of historic and innovative. So you see the brand being super culturally ingrained in France, but also in the brand history and heritage. You know, it hasn't changed in so long, but then you see these, you know, addition of new people into the company. Nicolas Gasquier does a great job of incorporating innovative techniques into the clothing. Then you had Virgil, who implemented streetwear into a brand like Vuitton, which was never before seen, but now it's like the head of the aesthetic of the men's department. So I think it's like the perfect example of a brand that is so French, but then is bringing something, you know, new and exciting.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
French touch.